Florida in a stand-up line. They may or may not blitz. They won't. But back 3rd down on the 8. In trouble. Got a block behind them. Going to throw on the run. Complete the 25 to the 30. Lindsey Scott, 45, 50, 45, 40. Run, Lindsey. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Lindsey Scott. Lindsey Scott. Lindsey Scott. Woo! It's Florida week, baby!
Hello and welcome to Row 60, a Georgia football podcast. My name is Clark Gaines. Joining me today, as always, Adam Thornton.
Sir.
And this is show number 11. You could call this the Aaron Murray episode. He went 3-1 against the Swamp Donkeys of Florida. Adam, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, Clark. This is what it's all about, being a Georgia Bulldog, is getting to the Florida week. Everybody heading down to St. Simon's, heading down to Jacko Island. Family traditions, what students do. Everybody just looks forward to this week. It's unique in college football, and this is what it's all about, especially on years like this year, rolling into Jacksonville undefeated. Can't ask for any better.
That's right. That's right.
That's what it's all about, baby.
Yes, the mass exodus to Jacksonville, Florida is about to ensue.
That's exactly right, saying it's going to ensue. So what we're going to do is we're going to crank up the intensity on the show a little bit. We're going to turn the old knob up about 5 more cranks, Clark. So if you're in the car listening to it, if you're, got your cell phone, you're listening to us, turn us on up even louder than expected.
They may not have to. They may not have to. We were bringing the energy to this one.
Crank it on up. I wanted to rattle some eardrums, Clark.
Oh, man.
I don't care. I mean, hey, when people are listening to this, they're going to be a couple days away till game time. So let's go.
That's right. That's right.
Get fired up.
Yes. Yes. So we got a very interesting episode for you guys. We're not previewing, we're not recapping a game. We are previewing a game. So instead of recapping this week, we're going to actually be talking about some Georgia-Florida history, giving you some facts, some statistics, a good history lesson. And later on, we will look at the keys to the game and preview this Florida game.
That's right, Clark. We're going to talk about, because we're a fan podcast.
Yes.
We're the Common Man's podcast. We're a fan podcast. We're going to talk about what this series means, what it means going down to Jacksonville.
Right.
Just from passed down from families, generation to generation. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what this whole history has meant to the fan and our memories with it and what we got to look forward to come Saturday. And we're going to be high energy about it when we bring it to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Before we get really started and into this, I do want to say we have a call-in show this Friday night live from Amelia Island, Florida. You do not want to miss it. We're going to get that thing started at 7:30. This time it is on Facebook and on YouTube, so you got 2 different places to watch. You guys feel free to comment, send us some questions, and obviously call us. We are doing this because we want to talk to you and engage in some conversation.
Taking Row 60 on the road, brother. I love it. I love it. I love it. So everybody join us.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, put it down on the calendar right now. Well, we want to hear your energy. We want to see your energy level. I mean, shoot, we'll be less 24 hours by that time until kickoff in TIAA Bank Stadium or whatever it's called now. The 15 name changes it's had over the years.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Adam, before we go and talk about Georgia, Florida, let's talk about the bye week.
Let's talk about the bye week.
It was kind of sad. I got to be honest. I woke up Saturday morning, I turned on College Game Day, and it was just a different feeling, you know, and a feeling I'm not really used to, in football season. So what'd you do on the bye week, Adam?
Well, Clark, the bye week, it was odd in the fall. When you get up and you watch College Game Day, you're like, dang, the Dogs aren't playing today. So your mental game is kind of just thrown off because you're like, well, I need to use this day to be productive then, I guess, because, and don't have any Georgia football. So we worked with the cows a little bit, and then me and my father-in-law, we were converting an old boat trailer to a pontoon trailer. So we did a little welding job on that, a little fabricating. So had a little productive day, and then at night watched the Braves and then some college football. That was about it. Dang. So it was a dang good day.
That's
dang
a
good bye week.
Very productive day.
Yeah, didn't get to deer hunt. Wanted to do that, but that's going to come later. It's just a good time of year, man. That's October baseball, college football in full swing. Deer moving. I mean, just a glorious time. Yeah. Everybody's excited about Halloween festivities going on. Everybody's celebrating harvest, Halloween, whatever you want to do. It's just a good time. Just a good time had by everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So what'd you do, Clark? Tell us about yours.
So I woke up, like I said, watched some College Game Day. I went to my parents' house. Yep. My dad cooked me some good air-fried wings. And they got a good crunch to them.
This is going to be our food concession stand review. Review your father's air-fried wings.
Adam, they were good. We had a little bourbon glaze on one of them.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah,
solid.
That is a good choice.
Really
that
good.
Is a good choice.
And we also had some just, your mild wings, and it was good. I got to shout out my dad for that. Really good stuff. Thank you, Dad, for feeding me on game days in which I cannot attend live college football. So
love it.
Oh yeah, good wings.
That's
good
great.
Crunch.
That's great. Well, I hope everybody had a good bye week, Clark. I hope everybody rested up, spent some time with the family. Did whatever you love to do.
Yeah.
And went out, carved a pumpkin, did whatever. Then so now, but hey, look, that's over now.
That's right.
Throw that away. That's over now. It's time to get our minds right.
That's it.
Because this is Georgia Florida week, and as we were discussing off air, Clark, this is our favorite week of the year.
It is. By far.
This is our favorite week of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care, Clark, if you go into this game and Georgia's already lost one or two games, shoot, even three that we've seen some seasons. Yeah. You always get excited this game. This game has a different feel, different energy level to it for a fan. And this year it just adds, it's just, icing on the cake.
Oh, yeah.
Icing on the cake going down there undefeated. So, man, I'm jacked. I'm ready to go, and I hope everybody's minds are right.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's why everybody needs to go, get you some new apparel to go down to Jacksonville, and go to PeachStatePride.com.
Yeah.
Get you a quick shipment in on it, or, there's a bunch of stores in Athens and Watkinsville and Hartwell and everywhere, and get you some new apparel to wear down the beach if you're going down to, the Golden Isles down there, I believe is what they call them.
You're going to need a koozie for this game. Go pick up a koozie.
That's right.
For the world's largest outdoor cocktail.
That's right, Clark. Tell them, go visit our friends at PeachStatePride.com. Go visit the stores, get suited up, get ready to go. Yeah.
They had a big restock on the UGA polos that we've worn.
Yes.
And there's a reason that they sell those things out, because they are good quality. They're affordable, and it just looks good, that red and black. Yeah. And we need all the red and black we can get in that stadium.
That's right.
Adam, one more thing. I want to shout someone out.
Yeah.
Mr. Jim Wilcox. Look at these.
Yes,
bad
sir.
Boys. Little snapbacks. Yes.
Wanted to showcase it front and center.
Absolutely. And on the back, Clark. #Row60.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I don't know if they can see it there, but that is a good looking hat.
That's awesome. Custom made. The only ones in the world belong to me and you right there, sir.
So I'm going to wear mine. I'm going to put mine on
Put
backwards.
it on, Clark. Put it on backwards. Rep it. That's right. Make you a hat debut on row 6.
That's it.
We ain't seen that out of you. I hear you. I love it.
Ooh.
Hey, that looks good.
Wait,
that's
hold
good.
up now.
That's good.
It's a little too wide right there.
That's all right.
It's messing with my headphones. But,
okay.
I do love that thing.
That is good.
It's going to make an appearance.
Well, thank to our super fans, Jim and Pam. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. That means the world that y'all think about us like that. We love them, and it's going to be a fixture right here for us, and something that we're very appreciative of. And we love our fans, and just thank everybody for the support they've given us.
Absolutely.
And we're excited because now the energy level is going to be ramped up even more than where it has been. Because Clark, we got an undefeated Georgia football team right now. Number one in the nation when you're entering the last weekend in October and to the last month of the regular season in November. And it's time. Yeah. It's time to crank it up. We're going to have some stuff come out this week and some new plans we've discussed, and that we're like, dang, this is a historic run, and it's time to go. And it's time to bring our game up a little bit.
Yes.
And I don't want anybody being left behind and not getting energized about this. I want people to be at their peak fandom, because you don't get this opportunity many times, folks.
That's right.
Let's do it.
That's why we're doing this live call-in show. That's why we're also going to be releasing a video. I'm going to say, if I can get it edited on time, look out on Sunday for a pretty funny video. It's going to be there's going to be some gold out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube on Sunday, hopefully. So be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout for that, and there might be some live clips from us before the game in Jacksonville as well. Good Lord willing, we'll see, but let's do it.
Yeah. So, Adam, we are leaving for Georgia, Florida Thursday, right? We're heading down to Jacksonville on Thursday.
I think that is kind of Thursday is the staple of when you see that caravan coming down. I-95, I-16, maybe I'm right on that. I can't get my interstates right. But when they're coming down, everybody's coming down to the Golden Isles. The college folks love traditional. Since you've been in college, since I've been in college, from the beginning of time, everybody loves going down to St. Simon's.
Oh, yeah.
That's where a lot of the college folks are going to be. A lot of them don't even go to the game. So Georgia's fall break, at least when I was there, I'm sure when you were there too, is always playing that Friday before the game. So people like to head out of Athens and everywhere across the state on Thursdays. Get down there. Get ready.
Funny story. When I was in college, I left on a Thursday, and it was one of those classes with 300 people in there. So I thought, okay, the professor won't care, blah, blah, blah. So the one day she takes attendance is that Thursday of the Georgia-Florida week, and she gave 15 bonus points on a test in which I bombed. And believe it or not, but that cost me an A in that class. I actually ended up with an 89.
That's ridiculous.
And those 15 points added to my test would have.
That teacher should be fired.
She should be
for not putting football at the top of the priority list, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's ridiculous. I mean, who's putting education on Georgia Florida week as a top priority?
Yeah.
Who?
Come on.
Who's doing that? Give it, teachers out there, give the children, if your child wears a Georgia shirt, give them a break this week. Yeah. When I was in elementary school, I couldn't focus during Georgia Florida week. I was ready to go.
I know.
Yeah. Golly, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Oh, man.
But yeah, that's exciting. You know, a lot of people will be heading down on Thursday, and you know, it's just lit up red and black everywhere. Amelia Island, Jackal Island, Sea Island, all them islands. I don't know. Everybody's down there in Kingsland, getting fired up in Kingsland, Georgia, down in Camden County, getting ready to go. A lot of Georgia folks, you know, South Georgia folks, they love this football game. I mean, everybody does, but this is a lot of the Southeast Georgia Dawgs game right here. And I think one reason why it's still in Jacksonville is the top donors you got around the Sea Island area who love this game in Jacksonville, and it's been a tradition. So, Clark, let me ask you this question. You know, it's been up something for debate, and since it's this episode, let's talk about it real quick.
Yeah.
Are you a guy that you like it in Jacksonville? You rather see it go to home and home or any type of rotation?
You know, I can see the argument for both. One thing I've proposed, if it goes away, I love Jacksonville. I love going down there. It's tradition. I've gotten so accustomed to it. I mean, this upcoming trip will be my 11th. Adam, you've been, who knows?
This will be my 20th time.
20th. Yeah. Yep. So a lot of trips, a lot of memories down there. I love it in Jacksonville, but I think it would be smart to have one game in Jacksonville and the next in Atlanta in the Benz and rotate. You got two NFL stadiums. Think about it. Athens is an hour away from Atlanta. Gainesville is an hour away from Jacksonville. It would equal out the driving distance for both teams if it alternated that way. I think that's a smart idea.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, yeah, Clark, I agree with that. And I can see it. It could be that, and then it could be a 4-year rotation between them two, a home and home, or it goes to home and home. I think Kirby Smart's argument is losing the recruiting weekend. I don't think it's that much of a priority for Dan Mullen and the University of Florida because they don't care about recruiting. They don't put the money. The University of Florida is 7th in the SEC and money put into recruiting, and 14th in the nation.
And we're first with $3 million. I mean, we have almost $1 million more spent a year.
Yes. I heard a stat today, as a matter of fact, that Georgia puts 3 times as much money in recruiting than Florida does.
Yeah, that's right. So statistically,
I think that's going to be Kirby Smart's argument is going to be wanting to get another home game, not lose that home game to get another recruiting weekend in there. Yeah. But as fans, as for me and you, and what this podcast is about, that's our tradition, man. That's what we've grown up doing. That's what we love doing, and what we want introduce our kids to. I mean, that's what our family vacation is.
Truly, yeah.
You know, most people go to the beach in June, July, August. We go to the beach in November.
That's right.
Last week in October because it's football. It's a business trip and with a little beach on the side, you know? So, I mean, that's why I wanted to stay in Jacksonville. I wanted to, because of just the ambiance of how unique it is. You got Oklahoma and Texas and the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, but then you got Georgia, Florida, where it's split 50-50. And, you know, Georgia's dominated down here before. This decade, we got the rivalry back in Georgia's favor by winning the decade. And I don't know. I mean, yeah, it is tough because, I mean, Athens is definitely a whole lot longer to Jacksonville than what Gainesville is for the fan base and for the players and the team, most importantly, of course. So you see both sides to it. I'm going to make a prediction that we better enjoy these last few years in Jacksonville because I think Kirby Smart will be the man that has the power and the say in it, unless some of these boosters in South Georgia don't. But I think eventually it will go back to it will be a home and home, which I hate because it's been in Jacksonville forever. But I don't know. Who knows? But right now it's not. We're going down there. Let's enjoy.
That's right.
And let's focus our hatred towards Florida. Let's go.
That's it.
Let's go.
So let's talk a little bit more about our trip, just to give the viewers, the listeners out there, kind of an idea of what we do. And if you've never been to Georgia, Florida, I'd highly encourage it. And man, there's some great places to eat. We go to a couple of places one's Down Under and another is called Brett's Waterway, both in Amelia Island, not necessarily Jacksonville. Amelia is probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes up the interstate?
around there. You know, it's about I'd say 30 to 40 minutes north of Jacksonville on 95 right there, taking off. But I mean, a lot of Georgia fans like doing that. They go to one of the islands, go to the beach, play golf or something on Friday, just chill, hang out and eat a good seafood meal on Friday, and then head early Saturday morning tailgate, and kind of a staple that you see from everybody. But what I love about it, Clark, is that trip on a Thursday is going down the interstate, and it's just red and black.
Yes.
Just cars, Georgia tags everywhere, flags, magnets flying. So I'm telling you,
Adam, we used to not have the luxury of going down on Thursdays. In fact, when you and I played high school football, we would literally have to drive after our football games at 10, 11, sometimes even 12 at night, get down in Jacksonville at 5 o'clock in the morning and go straight to the game at 8.
Oh, it was funny, Clark, because, about 3 or 4 years you do that there, and it would be hilarious because, like you said, you missed all that you just want to go down there and see the Dawgs live.
Yeah.
And, it was funny because you'd be pulling in the parking lot to the hotel, and people would be coming out there, loading up coolers and everything to go tailgate. You're just getting there, going to get you a little 2-hour power nap, and then head to Jacksonville. Oh, and then those years were bad because those were the Tim Tebow years in 08 and 09. Just was a blur, like a 49-17 loss, a 42-10 loss. So, So
my high school years, fortunately, were not that bad. I got 11, 12, didn't go in 13, and then 14 was awful. But, so... Oh, man, a lot of back and forth in this rivalry.
And bad memories. That's right.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I want to mention, too, if you are going to this game, if you're driving down the interstates, especially from Northeast Georgia or Central Georgia, please, people, slow down.
Through the city of Tignall.
Yeah.
Tignall's a speed trap.
Heed this warning. You will get stopped if you go, 10, what is it, 10, 9, you're fine, 10, you're mine?
That's right.
Something what the cops say.
That's right.
And they will get you. We have been stopped. I don't know how many times by a cop going down to the Georgia-Florida game.
I know when you get excited and the adrenaline gets going, the old pedal, for me, the foot gets smashed down a little bit, accelerate a little bit more. So everybody just be cautious about that. Be safe going down there. Yes. Hey, if you're not going down there, I hope right now, get online, get some tickets, tell your wife, tell your husband, we're going to Jacksonville. We're doing it.
Just do it.
Just do it. Don't
ask
think
questions.
about it. Yeah.
Don't look at your bank account.
Apologize later. Ask for forgiveness later. There's not many times you're going to see what we're going to see on Saturday. True. I promise you. I promise you. And especially with this season being that it is, you need to be down there. We need all the red and black we can down there. So right now, just go. Hey, make it a day trip. Yeah. That's been done several times.
Yeah.
So
Ticket prices are dropping, people. Get down there. Wear your red and black. I try when I go down to this game, I never, ever, ever wear red I try not to because it's a little too close to orange. I want to be the furthest thing away from orange and blue, so I always wear black. Do not wear white, people. If you're going to this game, please don't wear white. Don't do it.
Yeah, that's right. Wear red or black, and just go ahead, get you some tickets. Go ahead, go down there, and I tell you what, just tell your wife that Adam and Clark said you need to go.
Yeah.
Blame us. We'll take some hate mail to get another dog in the stadium. Tell your wife, she could go shop or do something like that. Go tell her, like, Clark, what you do, your wife's a trooper. You have to go to old Broadway musical every now and then at the old Fox in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's the thing. Buy some tickets for you and your wife to attend the Georgia-Florida game, but then go ahead and
go see the Nutcracker. It's getting December. Go watch Nutcracker. But, and then when you're at the Nutcracker and you're sitting there thinking you're going to be thankful you saw that Georgia win, you can lean on that during them times. So that's it. That's what I'm saying right now with it. So. Awesome, but anyway. So I hope everybody can go. Everybody needs to experience it. Sure enough, seriously. So Clark, you want to talk a little bit about this series history?
Yeah, I mean, you know more about it than I do, but the past decade, man, it really has been split. I think it's 5-5. Is that right?
Let's see.
Florida won in 10. They won in 13.
They won in 14. 10 and 14.
14.
15, 16.
And then 20.
If you can't 5 and 5, yeah, that would be right, wouldn't it?
So,
yeah. So I tell you, I'll say this. Let me just say this. As a Georgia fan, if you've been following this team, you cannot take that ride down there and not just have a dad blame, just something churning in your stomach, a nervous feeling because you've seen, I don't care if you're on the couch watching on TV or keeping up with it on your phone and deer stand, whatever, if you're at that game, there's Georgia, Florida, and you're a certain age, there's Georgia, Florida games stick out in your mind that just are haunting. Yeah, and I mean, when I first started going in the early 2000s, you know, we had a lot of teams like this team, you know, not as good as this team, but undefeated teams, top 5 teams against some mediocre Florida teams post Spurrier that went down there with no business losing and got beat.
2002 and 03.
2002 and 03 are prime examples. You know, I mentioned on a previous show, Keywan Ratliff had a pick 6 for Florida. Terrence Edwards, I can still see it right now. The ball just going straight through his hands. And it wasn't Terrence's fault. It shouldn't have been in that predicament anyway against a bad run Zook Florida team. I think they were ranked 23rd or 22nd nationally. We're in the top 5. Yeah, you have undefeated seasons ruined in Jacksonville in 02, 05, and 03. No, excuse me, not 03. But, you know, the still national ranked to LSU beat us before that in 03. But 02 and 05, you go down there. Shockley, that 05 game, Joe Tereshinski started, Clark. And I remember Thomas Brown was lefty running back, threw a touchdown pass. It was the ugliest pass. Joe Tereshinski somehow went up high. Florida had these awful uniforms that had like an orange patch.
I know. Oh, that's Chris Leak, right? Those days.
Yeah, Chris Leak. You know, it's the year before Tebow came, and Tebow's freshman year is 06. Hung around with him. Stafford's freshman year as well. And then 07 was a memorable game that everybody knows. That's the end zone dance. That's when we go and you beat them 42-30. And awesome game. Yeah. Awesome game.
8 was awful. 9 was awful.
08 and 9 was awful. Then you lose in overtime in 2010. You almost should have won that game. Then you finally start your streak. But the 90s, Clark, and I think where you look at the 90s, that Spurrier came in and he made it a point that he's going to beat Georgia. And he did.
Well, and it goes back to when 60, what year was he?
Around Heisman? 66.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, they were undefeated, or were they undefeated? But he was a Heisman favorite.
No, he won the Heisman, I believe. I believe that year he won the Heisman. He definitely won a Heisman when he was there at Florida. But I want to say the year he won it, Georgia beat him and knocked him out of the national championship. Right. So he had a personal just vengeance against Georgia from then on out.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then you got to think about it. I think Vince Dooley was 7-3 in the 70s against Florida. And then I think he was 8-2 against Florida in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I mean, some tail whoopings in the 80s. A memorable game, obviously, is 1980.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best plays in Georgia football history. At the closing minutes of the game, Clark, you don't even, you know, Georgia Tech, you know, because we were talking about this earlier. You asked, when was the last time we were number 1 going into Jacksonville? And you would think maybe it was 80, but no. Notre Dame beat Georgia Tech beat Notre Dame for us to sign that number 1 spot after that miracle play to Lindsey Scott there to win 26-21. And then the next year, I want to say, was another 26-21 game. And then you blow them out 44-0. And probably one of Florida's biggest games, and it was in 84. They turned the series around, finally get one after 7 straight that Georgia won. Well, it wasn't 7 straight, but anyway, 85, Florida was ranked number 1. We come in and we beat them. So anyway, just a lot of good games, but Spurrier came in there and made the 90s miserable. You only get 1 win down there in 97. The whole decade, Spurrier goes 11-1 in his time in Florida.
That's crazy.
And I remember one more thing, because I'm a historian.
Oh, yeah. Go for it, man.
I'm a historian at heart, and I love talking about Georgia football history. Is that 04 game with David Green, his senior year in Pollock, finally getting one down there was sweet. That might be my favorite game in history. And I'll ask you what yours favorite was.
Yeah.
17 was sweet, 12 was sweet. But being a child and seeing some heartbreakers down there a few years before that, and then finally seeing us break through. I'll never forget old David Green hit Fred Gibson on a slant route across the middle to kind of seal that one. But that was special. So, Clark, let me ask you, what's been your favorite memory in Jacksonville?
Well, I've definitely not been to as many as you have. Like I said, this will be number 11, and I missed in 13. But you know, the first game I went to in 2010, that's when we got beaten in overtime. Yeah. Just off a ludicrous play that there at the end is just wild. But you know, that game, I started to realize how much I hated Florida. I always watched the Georgia-Florida game. We always went to a friend's house, whatever, with the family and watched it there, and that was great. But I didn't truly understand the hatred for this Florida team until I went down there in 10. So 10 was awful. 11 was really good. I enjoyed the 2011 one, but definitely in my live experience, 2012 takes it by far. Just the defensive performance that we had coming out of the gates. You know, they were ranked number 2 at that time, and I believe we were number 9, something like that. But we came out just playing with her hair on fire and just attacking Jeff Driscoll. Sent a safety blitz. Bakari Rambo, I remember that late in the game, just safety blitz. I've never seen a more beautifully drawn, executed safety blitz in my life. That was great. And then when Malcolm Mitchell took that touchdown to the house.
A little hitch route.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Made a man miss. I just lost it. And then Gurley, that was the game he Gator chomped and then did that.
Jarvis Jones stripped up. He saved us there then because he won that game 17-9. And Jarvis Jones come in and he knocked the ball off. Dang, what was that boy's name? He wound up being an NFL quarterback. No, NFL tight end. Not Brissett, because Brissett played at Florida, but he wasn't it was Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed
was tight end. Yeah, Florida. So anyway, that was a special one. That was a good one, and then that's the first time since the 80s that Georgia's won 2 in a row in Jacksonville. Was 11-12 then because.
And I really think that 12 win gave us a lot of momentum, obviously, but it really it kind of destroyed that mental block that we have with Florida.
Right.
That we had with Florida.
Because you go on and 13 was a game that had 2 teams in it that really didn't have much to play for. Missouri was going to win the East that year. Missouri had just beat Georgia. Georgia had just lost to Vanderbilt that year too. But, you go out in Jacksonville and you still beat Florida. 14 was a game that was, you have a dead duck, lame Will Muschamp that's still head coach of Florida at the time. Against the Jeremy Pruitt defense, they ran all over us that day. I'll never forget that. It was a windy day in Jacksonville. Stupid loss.
Was that Matt Jones running back kid with the dreadlocks? Was that his name, Matt Jones?
There was a quarterback too that hadn't played a lot, and I think they maybe threw 3 passes the whole day.
It was awful.
And that goes to show you, Clark, where you look where that Georgia team was 7 years ago to where this program is now. It's like, man, golly, it's amazing what Georgia has done, what Kirby Smart has done, and getting the momentum back to this football program and what we're reaping the benefits as fans are now. That is such a big thing in college football, Clark, is when you get momentum in a program. And that's what Kirby Smart's just done off the bat.
Right.
And it's been beautiful. And just got to keep it up. And when you have momentum, Clark, when you have momentum in a football program, what you get recruits.
Yeah.
You get recruits.
And that's something that, you look at the differences between Georgia and Florida. Current day.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
That is.
We have 5 stars. Dan Mullen does not have 5 stars in Florida.
That's right. Not
that he's recruited.
That's right.
And that says something. And I know, people say, well, you can develop, the 5 stars don't matter, blah, 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 blah.
No.
That's not necessarily true. Think about it. Trevor Lawrence is a 5-star recruit. And we can sit here and name 5 stars all day. Trevor Lawrence changed Clemson football.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson changed Clemson football.
Yeah.
5-star.
Hit a lot of weaknesses. I mean, I love the coaches that can develop 3-star guys, but I think you got to be able to do both. I think you got to be able to do both, Clark. I think to win in college football at an elite level today, you have to be a recruiter. You have to be a recruiter. And I don't think if you have the drive and energy like Kirby Smart does and what he demands of his staff, then I think it's going to come back and bite you. I think you're kind of seeing that in Clemson. I mean, not like you're seeing it in Gainesville with Dan Mullen. But I think with Dabo, that 18 and 19 classes, you kind of look at it, they didn't take as many guys. And you're kind of seeing that coming back to bite them because they're, the Clemson way that they have, they're not developing like they thought they could. And when you have Ohio State guys like Ryan Day who can recruit, Saban obviously, and Kirby, that's where you're going to be elite. And then especially guys who could develop that 5-star talent. But that's where Georgia is right now, and that's the name of the game in the college game is recruiting, Clark.
That's right.
Is recruiting. So, but this is an exciting game. Man, I a lot of good opportunities on Saturday, Clark. A lot of good opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, if you win this game Saturday, which we're going to talk about why we think we're going to win this game. But if you win this game on Saturday, I think let's see. You only have to beat Missouri to clinch the East. Is that right?
That's right. I mean, you come back to Athens. Hey, I'll take it a step further. Here, Clark. You could clinch by beating Florida. Kentucky, if Mississippi State, and they've been known to lay an egg in Starkville a time or two. If they go over to Mississippi and they go play the Mississippi State Bulldogs and get beat, Georgia beats Florida, put your ticket to Atlanta, baby.
Yeah,
we're coming.
We're coming, baby.
We're coming.
Woo!
Man, just getting jacked up about it. People.
I know.
I mean, let's go. The intensity that needs to be up there. If you're a Georgia football fan, this is what we want, Clark. This is what we live for as Georgia football fans. This is why we're passionate about it, is a championship caliber Georgia football team going and stepping on Florida's throat, man.
Yes.
Deliver the knockout blow to Dan Mullen is what it's about. Versus #1 Georgia, unranked Florida. Kill the momentum down in Gainesville, man.
Yeah.
Kill them. I mean, because look at it, Clark. Here's the deal. I'm sorry.
I love it.
All right. Here's the deal. You got Florida. All right. Probably going to start Anthony Richardson at quarterback. I know we're going to talk about that a little bit here in a minute, but you get them, and if you just steamroll them, that blame just boat race them. If you just let me get my headset back on. If you boat race them, Clark, you know what that means? Then they have Missouri, they have Samford, and they have South Carolina, and they have Florida State. Terrible football programs.
Yeah.
Any wins against any of them four are not going to get that fan base excited.
Right.
And then let them go play in the Outback Bowl, the Gator Bowl, whatever, high against a mediocre Big Ten team, get them a New Year's Day Bowl win, whatever, Dan Bowl, and get all excited about that. But you know what that does, Clark? After you get drilled by Georgia, and then you play those teams that don't have a pulse between all four of them, there's no momentum there. No. There's no momentum, Clark.
And that affects recruiting.
Dang right.
I mean, it's just full
what
circle.
I'm going at. That's full circle. There's no momentum going in the off season. There's people questioning. There's Dan Mullen having to make new defensive hires. Shut down the program. Yeah. Put the damn blame death nail in Dan Mullen, Clark.
This honestly,
this is it.
Yeah, this may be the proverbial nail in the coffin for Dan Mullen's career right here. But listen, I don't want Dan Mullen to leave.
I don't want him to leave. And Florida's not going to fire him this year, but I'm talking about get him no momentum.
Well, I've heard some talk. I've heard some talk now that people do not like Dan Mullen any longer in Florida. Last year they loved him. They loved him because they took him. They took that team to the SEC championship.
That's right.
And
and you're not going to have any diamond in the rough. Kyle Pitts, Kyle Trask, just coming to belt like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what they do with old Dan Bull. So
I think Grantham is gone though. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I've never really thought he's been a great defense coordinator. That's just
a complicated scheme for the college level. But anyway,
yeah. Adam, we lead the series, right? What's the official?
The series total right now, and it depends on who you ask, Clark, but since we're Georgia and we're a Georgia podcast, we're going to go off what Georgia says.
That's
53, 44-2. There was a little controversy in 1904 if Georgia actually played the University of Florida out of Gainesville. The people down in Gainesville say you can't count that win because they played a affiliate, I guess, of the University of Florida.
Okay.
If you will say, was a agriculture college in Lake City.
Okay.
But they were the University of Florida.
That's true.
So count it.
Yep.
53rd win, 53, 44-2. Obviously, they closed the gap in the 90s and 2000s, but we started, the 2010s. We've made a good run on them. And the 2020s is going to be straight dominance,
That's right.
folks.
That's it.
Go!
Yep.
Let's go!
Oh, it is.
Hey, let's go.
I'll tell you, it is so much fun just going down there and beating Florida. And then after the game, towards the end of the fourth quarter, my favorite scene just in this world really is watching orange and blue just
pile out of the stadium.
Just flood out of the stadium. And then you go down the walkway, the concourses, and it's great.
Yeah.
To be a Georgia Bulldogs started, and it just,
I tell you, Clark, the state's so unique because you got people here where we live in Northeast Georgia. We hate Clemson, and then you got Northwest Georgia up in Dalton, all them boys up there. They're not big Tennessee fans. You go down to Columbus, Auburn, Atlanta Tech, Southeast Georgia, them boys and girls down there, they absolutely hate Florida. But I think when it comes together, and when you think about it, Clark, and I'm going to ask you this. Well, we've talked about our hatred towards these other teams and dislike, whatever. It's Florida.
Yeah.
Clark, it's Florida. And how you determine the season success is what do you do in Jacksonville?
Right. That's true. I mean, the road leads to Jacksonville midseason. And, if you don't beat Florida, you don't typically go to the SEC championship.
That's right.
And the last, I don't know the official number, but I want to say something like the last 10, 11 games that we played Georgia, Florida, the winner goes on to, it's probably more than that.
Well, it was 14. 14. Missouri won 13-14. Carolina won it in 10. But yeah, just them three out of this past decade.
Wild.
So
that's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So we lead the series. And because we lead the series, and Adam, you mentioned this earlier, it is called the Georgia-Florida game, not the Florida Georgia game. All right, it does not go in alphabetical order. It's Georgia, Florida. We own the series, therefore we get that. All right, so let's talk a little bit more. We're just kind of spewing some facts out. Dan Mullen at Florida. Adam, listen to this. This is kind of funny. Dan Mullen at Florida, 0-2 versus Nick Saban, which Kirby is 0-3. But 0-1 versus Jimbo. He's 1-2 against Kirby. 1-3 against Ed Orgeron, who won't be employed at the end of the season. And then 2-2 against Mark Stoops. And Florida is 2-6 in their last 8 games against Power 5 teams.
2-6 in their last 8 games.
What a turn of events.
That's unreal. Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah. And their best season, everybody wanted during the COVID year was 8-4 season from Dan Mullen.
Not very
He's
good.
had 2 moral wins against Alabama.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, moral wins aren't going to count. And it's definitely not going to count if you get beat by the Dawgs this week.
That's right.
So, Adam, let's talk offense, defense, special teams. Let's talk about this game, this 2021 matchup between the Florida Swamp Donkeys and the Georgia
Let's talk
Bulldogs.
about it, man. I'm excited to dive into this one.
All right, offense. Adam, who are some players to look out for? What are the keys, I guess, on offense in order to beat this Florida team? What are we going to have to do?
Well, Clark, let's talk about this real quick. I mean, what's the injury update here with everybody? What guys are we going to get back? Do you see George Pickens in Jacksonville this week?
I don't know.
I mean, nobody's going to know except unless you're in the teams. Do you see him? Do you see Dominic Blaylock, Kenny
McIntosh?
Kenny McIntosh. Is Jermaine Burton 100% good to go? Is he going to get some targets? So,
yeah.
I think what we're going to see here, Clark, and on offense, JT, and the big question, the elephant in the room, and we're not even going to debate it, Clark, because the team chemistry is good, and whichever one's trotted out there is going to win. And then me or you have no inside information. I think anybody who does, honestly, in the media outlet, I'll be honest with you, I think they're
lying.
Full of crap.
Yeah.
Because Kirby ain't going to let him. Kirby said today, he hadn't made a decision. JT's been practicing, feeling good. But, Stetson is too, so I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And I don't care who they trot out there because I think team chemistry is going to be just phenomenal with either one of them. So what I think, Clark, is, Florida got gashed by LSU. By LSU, who has a terrible rushing game. But I think it was something that Grantham saw with LSU, with how he aligned his linebackers, that he thought there's no way that LSU's going to be able to run the football on us. Well, he was wrong about it. Yeah. I think Florida's going to try to stack the box against Georgia. Yes. I do not think they're going to let us just run like LSU did. Now, I think eventually we'll do what we do, impose our will in the second half, wear down that defensive line. Florida's had more talented defensive lines in their past. But I think what I want to see, Clark, of course I want to see the tight ends continue to be utilized like they are. But I want to see some more play, explosiveness out of the wideouts. Yeah. I know you had Ladd McConkey and everybody, but yeah, go ahead. I want to see that.
Yeah. And last year, if you watch last year's 2020 game, there were quite a few times we had guys streaking past the safety, past the corner, wide open.
Right.
And I think we look at that game film and we take some of those plays that we ran last year and we do it again. Because this year, I think Stetson has improved. That game that Stetson started in Florida, God bless him, it was rough.
Well,
but this year he's improved. He's taken a gigantic step, and I think he can make those deep passes. And I think you're right. We got to stretch the field vertically. We got to have some explosive plays, and not because we have to. We need that in order to win, but to keep momentum in the game. That's what you got to do against Florida, and that's been their bread and butter. If you look at the wins that Florida's had against us, they've had explosive plays. And and that's been kind of the difference in the game in those games.
No, I agree, Clark. And I think, Stetson Bennett last year, we were up 14-0 when he got hurt. Then he gets hurt and starts spiraling down. Then finally the defense. Well, then you have a lackluster defense in the sense of you had a bunch of injuries in there in that second quarter. They kind of go tempo, wheel routes. The story of that game. But I think, Clark, what's going to be key on this offense is to start out like they did last year. put up 14. Hurry up. Start out like you do in 2017. Put up 21. Got to make it 21-0 in the first quarter. I think if you do that, that's when. And, what's going to be interesting, Clark, is what kind of mindset mentality is Florida team coming out with? Are they going to come out with their hair on fire, playing for their coaching staff, playing for each other? Or have they kind of cashed it in a little bit, not kind of there mentally with it? So what kind of, Florida – and I think what you do is you can't let them hang around. You can't let them hang around, give them hope, give them belief, give that defense for Florida a little bit of a, confidence booster. Give the offense, give Anthony Richardson – some confidence going in there. So I think I think what we need to do is we need to start out fast, and if you start out fast, then it's going to go downhill for Florida in a hurry.
Yeah.
So and you're right. You don't need to have an explosive offense this week to win this football game because of how good our defense is. Even though Florida has a talented offense and everything, but I'd like to see it from now after the bye week, getting some guys back healthy. I would like to see it kind of grow more and more in that, because I think there is going to come a time, Clark, and this is for a conversation for a different day, that we might have to have some explosiveness on offense,
Sure.
And I think Florida, but I think they're going to stack the box all day and not let us just pound, and we're going to have to make some plays today.
Yeah, I definitely, I mean, anybody with a with a functioning prefrontal cortex can tell you that they're going to stack the box and they're going to make JT or Stetson throw the ball. I mean, that's going to be the defensive game plan. And I mean, look, they're going to probably send some heat. They're going to try to get to us and run blitz and whatever. But that's where I think we do better outside the pocket. And once again, we're not going to debate this, but I think if you're Stetson Bennett and you're in this game, this works out well for you. We're going to get you outside the pocket, roll out, bootleg, play action pass, get you outside and make those passes. So I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to find out.
We're going to have to find out. I mean, and I'll be honest, I think it's so lockjawed. But I don't know who's healthy, who's not, who's going to be out there. All I know is they're going to put the guys who are available, who are the healthiest. I like how Kirby's taking the approach that if these guys are needed, we'll put them in, but let's get everybody rested. Let's get a full roster going into the back half of the season. Right. Man, I mean, that's big. That's big.
Smart
to
way to play it.
So, I mean, I hope we see some guys who've been dinged up, fully back healthy, make some plays on the, wide outside. So, I think, though, we're going to see some explosiveness that we haven't seen as much yet going into. That's going to be a surprise. So, I'm excited about it.
Yeah. I think we're going to score. We're going to score some
points. We will, too. I think really on that Todd Grantham defense, especially if we're in third and long situations, we'll convert. Third and Grantham.
Third and Grantham, yes. A classic. Anything else you want to mention about offense?
On the offense side of the ball, it's just a mystery to me right now, Clark. Well, I don't know. We don't know who's going to be out there. We do not know who is going to be playing quarterback. We don't know who's going to be healthy at wide receiver. I don't know.
Well, nobody does.
I don't know. And I think the so-called experts out there, they don't know either. Nobody knows. Kirby knows. Todd Monken knows. That coaching staff knows. But, you don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's why you can speculate. We can sit back, being relax. A fan. That's right. That's it.
Yeah, we're just going to eat a hot dog in the stand. We're just going to cheer on if it's whoever trots out there. Let's put up points. But I think the key is on the offense side of the football to really get it ramped up and going is let's start off fast like we did in 2017 and last year. Because if you start off 14-0 against this Florida team like we did last year, then I think then, it's on the races. Crank up the old Evan Rude, fired up. We're boat racing. Let's go.
Oh, man. I hope it's that kind of a day. I really do. And I think it's very realistic to think that. So, all right. Defense. Keys to the game, Adam. And then players look out for. Who you got?
Keys to the game. I think, Clark, and as much as we goof on Dan Mullen, we have to address the point that Dan Mullen is a good offensive play caller.
Sure.
I think he's a guy that in his time as Florida has not got blown out by folks in the sense of because of how well he schemes, even though he is – not talented. Not saying that translates to winning championships, but it translates to winning 8 games a year.
That's true.
But so I think he's a guy that schematically our defense is going to see, I think, Liam Cohen did a good job for Kentucky a couple of weeks ago, the last game they played in. But Dan Mullen's going to have some stuff. Historically, Florida having that bye week. Spurrier used to do it. And then with Urban Meyer and Dan Mullen on their staff, they would always add in a little offensive wrinkle before Georgia. And I remember one year, it was in either 08 or 09, with Tebow and Aaron Hernandez, they did the tight end little shovel pass. It killed us all game. A little shovel pass, like right when you first started seeing the shovel pass, I think. And, that's what they put in the off week. So, and with Mullen, the state of that program right now, I think how he personally feels about Kirby and Georgia football and where Georgia football is, I think he's going to be throwing just the full house deck of cards at Georgia. They have a quarterback controversy. They have a true quarterback controversy. Ours is, I don't know, who could, but theirs is that their fan base is going to be ticked if they don't see Anthony Richardson Saturday. And Emory Jones, both of them struggle. Both of them turned the ball over. Yeah. So I don't know, Clark. I think on defense is going to be, I think they're going to try to go up tempo. I know you would almost think that in a game like this, that when you have less talented, that you want to shorten the game, keep the ball, hold on to possession. But I think Dan Mullen's going to be trying to go up tempo. They're not going to run the ball.
Yeah, his ego's too big to sit there and play it slow.
Yes. So on defense side of the ball, if you could get off the field on third down, get, if they come trying to fly up tempo and you stuff them. Three, and then you could get on the offensive side of the ball and score, then that's when the game can get away in a hurry. Right. So hopefully create some turnovers, some havoc, get up by a couple touchdowns and put them in panic mode, make Anthony Richardson in his first start, true freshman starting against this Georgia defense. That's going to be tough if they do that.
Good luck.
I mean, and I know the kid's got an arm, but I think if he tries to, it's going to be containing him and trying to force him into bad decisions. I know with Kirby and Dan Lannon, Muschamp, that whole Schumann, that whole defensive side of the ball, it's going to be interesting. How can Anthony Richardson read a defense with disguising coverages, blitz packages? How is Anthony Richardson going to pick that up? I think Kirby and Lannon and the guys are going to throw some different looks at him and try to hopefully mix them up and get them rattled.
Florida's offensive line is pretty decent. And so, and I want to say we're going to get about 3 or 4 sacks. Even, Florida's offensive line, I think, has given up maybe 5 sacks, I want to say, on the entire season. That's significant. That's really good. That's one of the top, I think that's top 10 in the nation. But so we got to find ways to get pressure on whoever's back there, AR or Emory or whoever. We got to get pressure on them and make it very, very uncomfortable. Collapse the pocket, stuff the run, and just do our thing. Yeah. And it helps when you got guys like Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis.
That's right.
Devontae White. Right. I mean, they're just amazing.
I think really that's right, Clark. I think Channing Tindall, Quay Walker, and, of course, Nakobe Dean is going to be big because I think they are going to try to get on the outside and try to create some – because they're not going to be able to establish a run.
Right.
So I think Richardson or Emory Jones, both of them are mobile. They're going to try to get outside the pocket and get to the outside and then running from sideline to sideline. Nakobe Dean, Channing Tindall shutting that down, not letting them get any yards by scrambling or extending plays. And that's the only way I think Florida will be able to move the ball and affect. And Clark, let me ask you this. Is this the best offense Georgia's faced to date?
That's a tough one. I think Kentucky, believe it or not, was probably the better one. Yeah. The best one, maybe.
Yeah. I think statistically, and I don't know how flawed that is, or how much that's been ramped up with some, but they are a little bit higher than Arkansas, actually. And with Dan Mullen, I think, maybe, and I'm leading the charge on going to boat racing, but I think there's got to be stuff that we have to do on both sides of the football with a fast early start to do that. You can't let them hang around. You can't let them hang around. You got to put your foot on their throat, Clark.
Yes.
Let's just drive the nail in them and just get done with them, man. Let's just enjoy the whole second half of the game. End it in the first half.
Right.
Be done with it. Get AR-15 or whoever they think is a second coming, a Tim Tebow, Cam Newton, whatever. Rattle him, man. He'll turn the ball over if he's rattled. Yeah. And let's capitalize off turnovers, get a defensive touchdown. Let's roll.
Well, speaking of turnovers, Florida is -7 in turnovers, meaning they have turned the ball over 7 more times than they have gained a turnover. Right. And then we are +3. So it's looking good. And I think we can get there. Look, I'm going to call it now. 3 sacks, and one of them being a strip sack. So watch out for it. Man. Watch out for it. I think we're going to finally get to them eventually. And, man, we're going to send the heat. So, but look, we got to give credit where credit's due. Florida, I still think is a team that could somehow beat us.
Absolutely.
There would have to be a lot that went wrong for the Dogs, but there's still a team we've got to take seriously. And we sit here and we're jawing and dogging Florida and everything. And that is what it is. But when it comes down to it, Florida, still a good team. Got to take them seriously. And listen, there's nothing more than they would love to do than to beat a number 1 undefeated Georgia football team. There's nothing more they love to do, because what else do they have to play for at this point?
That's right. That's right.
So,
and we talked about the opponents they have after this. So if you could just rattle Anthony Richardson, and they see that's what he did against a defense with a pulse, and then the rest of the way, whatever he does, then you end some of the preseason hype and speculation for him going into the offseason and next year. So I think this is big in that sense of killing momentum for that program by just boat racing them Saturday. That's what I want to see.
That's it. We're going to get it, man. I really think we're going to start.
I do too.
Like you, Adam.
I do too, man.
It
just feels like the stars are aligning. So
yeah.
Let's go.
Special teams, just play a good game.
That's right.
I mean, and special teams matters, but I don't necessarily think we have to do anything spectacular.
Don't make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Don't give them a short field position by muffing a punt or something, and then continue Camarda being Camarda. If we do have to punt away the football, keeping good field position for us, winning the field position battle, and pinning them deep, them getting deep and maybe causing a turnover and having them deep inside their goal line or so, from a punt would be great.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, our special teams just keep on rolling, doing like they are.
Yeah.
Mistake free.
All right, Adam, let's hold out on a score prediction for a little bit, and let's transition to our pick'em from last week. Let's talk about some of these games. Some of them were very interesting. First off, Clemson at Pittsburgh. Man, we got that right, picking the Panthers. Kenny Pickett looked pretty daggone good.
Man, I tell you,
the Tigers.
Yeah, he did. He's a really talented quarterback, dark horse Heisman guy. Pitt would actually be in the conversation for a playoff if they didn't get beat by Western Michigan.
Yeah.
But when you get beat by Western Michigan, you can't be in a playoff conversation, even if they go on and win the ACC.
Yeah, man, the ACC, and we've been talking a lot about the Big Ten, the Pac-12, even the Big 12, but we still can't forget about the ACC. Wake Forest could potentially. I know that sounds wild. But they run the table. They win the ACC.
They got a good offense. I mean, they gave up 56 points in the Army, but they scored 70.
Oh, boy. Well.
Oh, man. I don't know. It's just crazy. I think the ACC's done.
Yeah.
Done. But Clemson, a lot of problems there. Trent Dilfer came out.
Is that number
Elite
4? 11.
Trent Dilfer, the elite 11 quarterback camp guy.
Is he number 4, though?
Huh?
Do you know if he's number 4? Is that
Dilfer?
Yeah.
What about him?
Is he number 4? The jersey number 4.
Well, he was number 8 when he played for the Ravens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Dilfer, he came out, supposed quarterback coach guy, and just blasted Clemson's development. Said Trevor Lawrence regressed. And this is a guy who high school elite quarterbacks kind of take his word for stuff and kind of got a high reputation as far in that world, and said that, was around Trevor, was around DJ coming out, said that DJ Uyunglele has regressed tremendously, and that Trevor Lawrence regressed, and that people in Jacksonville are trying to work on his mechanics better right now. So that did not look good for Brandon Streeter, Tony Elliott, Dabo.
Yeah.
I think there's a big problem at Clemson, and that's some generational talent. I mean, a lot of guys, like Travis Etienne was one of those guys, and Trevor Lawrence, that hit a lot. So we'll see if they can turn around next year, because they ain't this year.
Boy. You almost start to feel bad for him.
And then you don't.
But then you don't. Because you think about all those years in the past.
That's right.
All right. LSU at Ole Miss. I didn't get to watch much of this one. Adam, did you watch this one?
I didn't. I didn't get to watch any of this one. I just kept up with it. It seemed like Ole Miss's defense came to play. They're kind of getting a little bit relevant as far as cashing in some good performances. Defended LSU's offense a whole lot better than Florida did the week before. So Edo gone. Good win for the Rebels. They're flying high momentum. Just hoping Alabama loses one and they can beat Auburn and A&M and slip into Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean, that's not too far-fetched, I don't think.
No, there's not. There's not.
So. Ole Miss is a good team, and it did look a little shaky there in the first quarter. I think LSU, they got some momentum offensively and started driving the ball, and I think they had a turnover or something that kind of changed the game. But, yeah, Ole Miss with the win.
Good win by them, and that's exciting. I know they're all fired up in Oxford. It's going to be interesting the next couple of weeks. You have that triangle of Ole Miss, Auburn, and A&M all playing each other. They haven't played each other yet. It'll be interesting to see who comes out of that group the best football team to take advantage if Alabama drops one to probably their best chance of being Jordan Hare the last week of the year where they hadn't won since 2015. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't see it happening, but it'll be fun to watch. Be fun to watch.
Tennessee at Alabama.
Speaking of Alabama.
Wow. This game looked crazy in the first half, and I'll be honest with you. I was watching this. I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I had the game on. I was listening to it as I was driving to Charleston for a wedding on Saturday night. I had the phone streaming the game, and I was listening to it. But man, Alabama struggled that first half, and I think Tennessee kind of exposed them a little bit in that first half, but then Alabama did their thing in the second half.
Yeah, they pulled away and won 52-24. Very talented team Alabama is. Alabama's defense is not to the level of where they have been under Nick Saban. You could tell Nick Saban's frustrated by the mentality of this team, the attitude, the coaching staff, everything around with it. And I don't know, Clark. I feel like that they're definitely good. They're good enough to win a national championship, but it's not close to being as good as last year's team. The leadership isn't there, and Bryce Young's a talented quarterback, but I think we could beat them. I think their offensive line, that our defensive line can win that battle in the trenches if we do come across them. I think their secondary, Clark, if we could get some guys back healthy, and whoever it is between Bennett and Daniels, if we do match up with Alabama, I think we could get some yards to the air and shoot. Florida gashed them earlier. So it's definitely a vulnerable Alabama team.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if they come through the rest of the season unscathed and if we get them in Atlanta. So, but they did pull away. The offense looked good against Mississippi State and Starkville, and they're going to be a good offense, and they will definitely be the best offense Georgia would face if that is looming that first Saturday in Atlanta in December.
Yeah. I mean, they're still a good team, and Bryce Young, he looked very good second half against Tennessee, and really pretty much the whole game.
Right.
So they're a team to take seriously, but I think they're certainly beatable, and as are we.
That's right. And you got to compliment Coach Heupel, Josh Heupel, what he's doing in Knoxville with a very depleted Tennessee roster. I lost a lot of guys. So the portal, very low numbers. He's getting the most out of them that I think you could ask for as a Tennessee fan.
Right. And it kind of
going to be good.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of Kirby in 16. Just like you said, depleted. You got guys kind of, do I really want to be here? Not balled in. But Josh Heupel, I tell you, I'm getting a little nervous about where they're going to be in a few years. And they could potentially be a contender. And, man, they just like to go fast. And that's a game we're going to have to circle on our calendar.
If they don't get hammered down with sanctions in the next few years, maybe he could overtake Dan Mullen in Florida. Wouldn't mind seeing it in the East, that second spot. I don't know.
Yeah. USC at Notre Dame. I did not watch a snap of this game. I tried to. I just couldn't.
I watched a little bit of it. Notre Dame, they're just not that good of a football team. I don't think they are, Clark. I think they're, of course, they have lost Cincinnati. USC obviously has an interim head coach. Needs to just revamp their whole culture over there in Los Angeles. So, I don't know. Not Dame won it 31-16. Good for them.
I called Robbery the upset. Win. I was 15 points off. So. That's not too bad, I guess.
Not bad. Tell us about the big one, Clark.
The game of the week, Alderson Broadus University Battlers at West Virginia Wesleyan Bobcats.
Yes.
Adam, you got the final score.
Alderson, I think they won it 49-20.
Okay.
So
good.
Big win.
We picked that
big offensive explosion for Alderson. Alderson Broadus University. They came out high tempo, moved the ball down the field, really got the fans into it.
Yeah.
I mean, they on the road actually. And the guys who traveled for that game at Alderson Broadus University saw a great offensive display. Great. So congratulations.
Did you happen to watch that game on ESPN, the Ocho? I
could not find any streaming for that game. Gotcha. So I did not, but I did keep up with it, and figure out that the Battlers got them a W.
Good deal.
So congratulations to them. Game of the week winners, row 60.
Yes.
We need to send helmet stickers to these schools. Like they used to on college football final. Yeah. Row 60 helmet stickers to the winners of our game of the week.
Yes. Oh, man. Good gracious. We need to do some of that stuff next year for sure. The game of the week. All right. Let's pick some games this week. And we got to pick our game.
That's
Finally,
right.
we get live. Adam, listen. I get to be back It's been
In a stadium.
4 weeks since I've been in a stadium between COVID and weddings and a bye week.
You're gonna have to eat a hot dog with me.
I'm eating a hot dog.
Eating a hot dog. Pre-game hot dog.
But yeah, so I'm super excited. We're going to pick our game after this. Don't let me forget, people.
That's right.
All right, Adam. Here we go. Who do you got first?
All right, for the first game of the week that we have, excuse me, not game of the week. This is my first time doing this segment, so I got a little off track. For our pick'em here is Ole Miss and Auburn, what we just talked about, Clark, in that SEC West. Both teams still alive in the hunt. Who do you have, Ole Miss, Auburn?
I've got Ole Miss, and I'm saying this because Auburn today reportedly they said that I think 12 guys got caught smoking pot. Now, that just kind of shows the discipline of this team. And,
that's a bad culture. Can't have that.
And I mean, you know, they obviously don't want that at Auburn. But with that said, man, I think this is going to be a big distraction for Auburn.
Yeah.
I think Ole Miss realizes it's do or die. And they actually have a legitimate shot at potentially going to Atlanta, and they're going to go in and do it.
They still have college football playoff hopes. Even if they don't get to Atlanta, I think some people think they still could backdoor in the playoffs. Yeah. If things go, I mean, that's highly unlikely, but if things go their way, possibly, I don't know. Still alive and well, second half of the season, a place that, Oxford has not seen in a long time with their football team. A lot of momentum rolling. Matt Corral's a good quarterback. If that stuff didn't happen at Auburn, I would be tempted to pick Auburn, but Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. They're Rebels.
Matt Corral. We got it.
Adam, let me ask you right quick. Do you like Lane Kiffin?
I've grown to like him a little bit more.
I have too.
Yeah, I've grown to like him a little bit more. I kind of like how he doesn't take himself seriously.
Yeah.
And I like that approach of him not kind of seeming as arrogant now. And as far as the fan interaction on Twitter, not the professional in a sense of, because I think college football coaches have this, like, I don't know, high self-esteem of themselves, that they're untouchable and, almost entitlement. I use that word. Yeah. And I think Lane Kiffin has kind of changed kind of how you handle that, so I like that. So, I mean, I don't know. I like it. So.
Listen, I was like you. I couldn't stand him, but man, just the way he messed up things in Tennessee and just it's great. I love his character, not character as in his integrity necessarily, but his character, just who he is. It's just funny. So
I agree.
All right, next game, Adam.
Next game, Clark. We're going to go with the Big Ten. Hadn't done that much this year. Ohio State and Penn State. I think that is your ABC Saturday night game. Clark, who are you going to choose, the Buckeyes or the Nittany Lions?
Ooh, this is tough because Penn State took a loss last week to Illinois.
Overtime game. Yeah, that new college football overtime format came out. What do you think about that, Clark? What would you think about being in Indianapolis against Ohio State in overtime, and you get after that third overtime, and it comes down to who can convert a 2-point conversion?
See, I don't necessarily like it because it's just one play. It's one play. I don't know. I feel like that I don't know.
I'll say this. I think it's good and fine for regular season, but I think once you get the playoffs, you cannot determine the national championship off 2-point play attempts.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess people could say maybe you shouldn't have been in that point anyway. But.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you have two just Goliaths, I mean, that would have been like that Fiesta Bowl one year with Ohio State, Miami, and I think 0-2 for if it would have got to that point. 2-point conversion play. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like with baseball on the playoffs, they throw in the extra innings, having the runner on second base, starting off the inning. They throw that out the window in the playoffs, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. So also with that, shout out to the Braves World Series. All those Braves fans get excited. Just another big thing happening in the state of Georgia.
Listen, I might get some hate for this, but I do not care one thing about baseball right now, and good for the Braves. It's
about the Dogs,
but it's about the Dogs. All right, we gotta get focused.
For all those fans out there who've been lifelong Atlanta Braves fans, happy for y'all. Enjoy it, man. It is exciting to see Georgia sports on the map, and hopefully this is the year for the Braves and the Dogs do it. So everybody just getting excited. The state's buzzing. I love it. Let's go.
Everyone except Georgia Tech.
That's right. Everybody except Georgia Tech. All right, Clark, we're back in the Big Ten. We're above the Mason-Dixon again. Michigan State with our old friend Mel Tucker leading the Spartans. Who you going with? I'm
going to tell you, this is a great match.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We didn't pick who Ohio State, Penn State. we got to go back. Yeah, we got to go back. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did. We did. I got ahead of myself.
No, that's all right.
The segment. All right, go ahead.
Here we go. Good catch there, Adam. I would have totally just kept rolling with it.
Who you going with, Clark?
I'm going to go with the Nittany Lions.
Whoa!
Whoa! Because it's at home. I know.
Whoa.
Listen. I think they rebound, and it is a tough place to play. I'm assuming it is in Penn State. I
think it is in Penn State. Yeah, I think that what I wrote down is right.
Okay.
Left away team, Penn State home team. No,
it's at Ohio State. All right, that changes things right there. I'm going to actually go with the Buckeyes. Yeah, I mean, seriously, that was going to be the difference where this game was played. I think both teams are actually, I don't know, Penn State, they've shown some weaknesses, but Ohio State, you can't pick against them at home with a good C.J. Stroud and the shoe. I mean, I'm taking Ohio State then.
I think Penn State's garbage, Clark. Personally, I think James Franklin's very overrated coach. I think he's trying to get out of Penn State right now with jobs like LSU, USC. Why schools are courting him, I don't know. Whatever. He had one good season, 16, and then been very below average pedestrian at Penn State ever since. Never liked the guy in his days in Nashville. Ohio State scares me, Clark. I think, we have a lot of time, a lot of football to be played, and a lot of other opponents before we get to discussing them. And we don't know what the playoff picture is going to be. But as far as an offense, so I feel like, with explosive weapons on the outside in the perimeter with Chris Olave, I believe his name, and just guys, C.J. Stroud hitting stride. Ryan Day, I think, is a really good football coach, honestly. I think that would be a team that could give Georgia their biggest threat, even more so than Alabama. I can't believe I just said that. Probably get some backlash on that, but I think Ohio State's starting to click at the right time. We'll see. Everybody's going through that gauntlet, but you know what I think about that gauntlet? Ohio State's going to boat race them all. What's going to happen when Ohio State plays Michigan? Michigan beats Michigan State undefeated against Ohio State. Ohio State's going to beat them by 30 at the end.
Wow. You're really liking the Buckeyes.
Nah, against all the Big Ten opponents.
Yeah,
it's the same old song and dance, Clark. We've seen it before. Give me Ohio State beating Penn State. All right, back another Big Ten game in that foursome in the Eastern Division of the Big Ten, Michigan State, that rivalry, Clark. Who you going with?
I'm going to take the Spartans.
You're going to take Mail and the Spartans?
I'm going to take Mail. They are really believing up there.
Dang.
And East Lansing.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to go against you, Clark. I hate to on this one. I really hope Mel Tucker wins it because I love Mel Tucker a whole lot more than I do Jim Harbaugh. But I think this is a Michigan team that will beat Michigan State. And probably Penn
good.
State.
I mean, both teams are. This is a solid matchup right here.
I think, I think that Michigan's got a little bit figured out on defense and what they had when old Don Brown was the D coordinator. And I don't know. I think they're riding high until they just go get blew out in the big game against Ohio State. So give me Michigan. Give me Michigan against Michigan State. All right. All right, back down to God's country in the Southeast, Clark. Kentucky at Mississippi State. Kentucky, we saw them just a couple weeks ago. Mike Leach and the Mississippi State Bulldogs, just like a dad blame box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get when they play. So, Clark.
Yeah.
Kentucky historically has not done well in Starkville. This is a game. This is a game that is, everybody has their permanent cross-division rival in the SEC. Kentucky and Mississippi State play annually. Clark, who you going with?
Mark Stoops, his team is still solid. I think they're good. And, but going into Starkville, 7 o'clock. I don't know. There's cowbells ringing and everything. I'm still going to go with Kentucky. They've got a great offense. Will Levis, that whole crew. I think they're going to go in and I don't know if it'll be I think it will be a 7-point victory, just a touchdown. So.
All right.
But I think they're
going with the Cats getting it done. Yep. Clark, I think that is a good pick, but I don't know why I have this feeling in my gut that Mike Leach is going to do something just extraordinary.
Oh boy!
I think he's going to take down the Cats in Starkville. I think the ghost of playing in Starkville, Mississippi, continued to haunt the Kentucky faithful, and they dropped their second game to the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Give me Mississippi State.
I like
by 14 points.
14? Good gracious.
No, 10. Okay. 10, I think. 10? Yeah, 10. Good 10,
gracious.
10, 10 points.
gosh.
Give me Mississippi State in the upset.
All right,
Clark.
Well, hold up. Before we do the game of the week, hold up. Did you see Mike Leach's post-game interview?
It's about Halloween candy.
Oh,
It's
my
gold.
gosh.
The man is a national treasure. I love him. We need more of that in college football.
I wish Kirby would have.
Clark, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, good question, Adam. I love some Skittles and I love any sort of chocolate.
Yeah.
And Snickers and Twix. But my all-time favorite would be Reese's. What's yours?
The right Twix bar.
The right
Twix bar.
Why not the left?
Because I just, the commercials made me think I needed to choose a side on the Twix bar.
Interesting.
So I'm just going to go with the right Twix.
Okay.
It always is my go-to when I pull one out of the bag. I don't know, it's because that's my dominant hand, is the right side. So
Interesting.
I just go for the right Twix and pull it out and eat that first. So I'm going to go, Twix is my favorite candy.
All right.
You can send it. Row 60.
Hey.
And the right Twix.
Yes. Let me ask you this while we're talking about food and snacks and Jacksonville and going down there.
Yeah.
All right. You go to a gas station, Adam, and you get out and you pump your gas and everything. You go in.
Yeah.
What are you going for? What's the snack of your choice?
Well, it depends, Clark. If I'm in between meals, don't want to ruin the stomach. But let's just say a good gas station snack. What I'm going to get is some trolley gummy worms,
All
Clark.
right,
My
there you
gosh,
go.
yeah, you dang right. Not off-brand gummy worms. Not off-brand gummy bears. Not gummy bears. Not gummy bears. I want soured gummies. Give me trolley gummy worms as my official gas station snack.
Book it.
Boom. What about you?
Oh, man. I tell you, I love the Frito-Lay. I always get something sweet and something salty.
Yeah.
And that's why I probably packed on a couple of pounds over the years. But I always go with the honey barbecue Frito-Lay twist thingies and a Snickers bar. And then to balance it all out, I go with the water because that makes me feel a little bit more healthy.
Well, I try to meet in the middle between not getting a Coca-Cola Classic kind of water and I get me a lemonade. And a Minute Maid lemonade, probably not good, but that's how what my mentality. If I have to go for a sweet, I'm getting a grandma's peanut butter cookie or Chex Mix. Or the Chex Mix Muddy Buddies. Anyway.
Okay, hold up though. If you're getting trolley gummy worms and you're getting lemonade, does that not give you like acid reflux?
It does something. It does something, especially in the car. But that's what we go with.
All right. Well, enough about food. Let's go to the game of the week. Not that game of the week. Oh boy.
I'm too excited.
We're just jacked.
I got a little ahead of myself.
All right, hold on.
No, the real game. Who cares about what's going on in Jacksonville?
Listen.
Tell us what's happening and where we're going in the country.
The game of the week, West Texas A&M Buffaloes. Not to be confused with the Texas A&M Aggies.
Or the Colorado Buffaloes.
At Texas A&M Kingsville Javelinas. Also not to be confused with Texas A&M. So the battle of who knew that there were two other teams in the state of Texas who also shared the name Texas A&M.
Interesting.
That's weird.
A lot of agriculture and military.
That's it, baby. All right, both teams are playing in the Lone Star Conference. Adam, do you know what a javelina is?
I do not. What is a javelina, Clark?
Javelina is Spanish for wild boar.
Interesting.
I never knew that.
It is very. I didn't. I figured they just call them the Texas A&M Kingsville Wild Boars.
The Wild Boars.
Instead of the Javelinas. But
well, I guess it's right. It may be on the border or something.
I got you.
And maybe the Hispanic community is lively there.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
All
right. So listen to this.
Yeah.
A couple of fun facts here talking about the Javelinas of Texas A&M Kingsville. They played the Aggies way back when of Texas A&M, like the legitimate Texas A&M Aggies at Kyle Field. Listen to this. The Javelinas led the game until the Aggies tied the game at 14 with 3 minutes left to play in regulation. The game ended in a tie. Wow. However, the Javelinas demonstrated that they could hold their own with a large football powerhouse.
I'd say they did.
This further substantiated, that's a big word, the team's nickname as the toughest little team in the nation.
I'd say that tie wasn't like kissing their sister, but more like kissing a fifth cousin.
What? What does that mean?
That you always heard a tie is like kissing your sister.
Okay.
A tie. So I mean, I'd say that tie against Texas A&M meant like kissing your sister. I guess it'd be like kissing a fifth cousin or something. I guess because a tie is still ridiculous and you don't want it. So
I've never heard of that.
You
my
never
entire life. Adam,
ties like kissing your sister.
I've never heard of that.
Never heard of that.
All right. I may not be cultured enough or something.
All right.
Oh boy. All right. And then let me give you this fun fact about West Texas A&M, the Buffaloes. They used to be a D1 school in the 70s. and they played in the Tangerine Bowl and the Sun Bowl, which I think Georgia actually played in the Sun Bowl at one point.
Yep.
And West Texas A&M is also named the safest school in Texas and one of the top 10 in the nation. But here's the issue, Adam. Here's the issue. They're not going to be safe on Saturday. The daggum Javelinas are going to cause some havoc. They're going to trample the Buffaloes, which should be opposite. But
is this game in? Is this game in West Texas A&M, wherever that's at?
It's
in Kingsville.
Javelina Stadium.
Kingsville. It's in Javelina country, baby. The Boars are going to roar. The Boars are going to roar. Give me Texas A&M, Kingsville, Javelinas, 35-10, rolling, baby. Ground game's rolling. Everybody's going to get jacked up about it. Let's go. Give me the Javelinas for the game of the week. I'm with you, Clark. Great minds think alike.
I love it.
All right.
To the actual game of the week. 3:30 CBS kickoff. Dogs take on the Swamp Donkeys.
This is it, Clark. Let's go! Woo! All right, Clark. Give it to me. Who is going to win this football game, baby?
Give me the Dogs 35-6.
35-6. I love it, Clark. Clark, we've had a lot of bad memories in Jacksonville. A lot of bad memories over the years, but a lot of good ones too. This one is going to be a good one, Clark. Georgia's going to go into Jacksonville against the historic rival Florida, and it's going to put a historic beatdown on this go-around. I think this game truly is going to be a good one for everybody in the red and black faithful. Continue exercising demons in that stadium. That's what we've been doing. So everybody right now, this is the best week of the year. This is the very best week of the year. Cherish it. Just bathe in it, soak it in. Just tell your family and friends how excited you are about Georgia football. If you know somebody who don't have a red and black shirt, go out and buy them a Georgia shirt. Go to Peach State Pride, get them a Georgia shirt. Get them fitted and ready to go for this Saturday. You need everybody from, whether you're camping with family, whether you're in your living room, grilling out, putting some, deer stand, listening to Scott Howard. Well, get excited about it because we're living in some good times in Georgia football lore, people. But we're going to go down to Jacksonville, Clark. You know what Georgia's going to do down in Jacksonville? They're going to shut down that damn Mullen offense. The whole offensive guru, Steve Spurrier's going to be in that club level, Clark. He's going to be up there, and he's going to be sitting there with his arms crossed, thinking, man, that he wishes it was 1995 again. But it ain't 1995, baby.
It's
2021. Kirby Smart's the new guy who wears the visor, who's the best coach in the nation. It's time to let the big dog eat. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs 38-10. Let's go, Dogs. 4-touchdown win. They're going to roll in Jacksonville, baby. Everybody, it's game week. It's Georgia-Florida week. We love y'all. Go Dogs, baby.